Hello beautiful people, my name is Lawrence Anthony, and in this video I want to talk about the one thing that, or better yet, let me say the lack of one thing can get you into trouble. Before I reveal what that is, I hope today it's been kind to you. I hope that you're in a happy mind state. And I want to tell you a story. So a while ago I used to have this neighbor that used to have a cat. And every morning on my way to work, the neighbor would always call me over and ask to come get this. It'd be like a dead animal, right? It'd be like some kind of dead bird or a squirrel or a possum or just something, a rat or something. And I always noticed that the animal was never eaten. It may have like some blood trickling from it, but for the most part, it was never ate. It would just be right there on her doorstep. And one morning I seen the cat. I thought it was some old straggly cat, and lo and behold, lo and behold, this was a huge fat cat, very very fat. And what I thought was puzzling was, how can an animal that be so fat go out and kill these animals with no problem at all? And then it dawned on me, this cat wasn't going out killing these animals out of hunger or necessity. It was doing it for pleasure. It was doing it out of sport. So the one thing which kind of leads me into this video, the one thing that if you don't have, that can get you in a lot of trouble, is stimulation. What do I mean by that? So when a person don't have stimulation, right, or lack of stimulation, what will often occur is boredom. Okay? So when a person is bored, they'll do things to stimulate their mind. Now, I'm not talking about like physical stimulation. I'm talking about stimulating your mind. I guess mental stimulation. I don't know the correct term for that, but like mental stimulation. So, like, I see a lot of videos on YouTube, and I can't think of any videos right offhand, but about serial killers. So one thing I've noticed with a lot of serial killers, they'll be, a male that'll have like a good family, they'll have a great job, and they'll be, they'll be kind of somewhat comfortable living. They'll go out and kill. I know that's not the case for everyone, but, they'll go out and kill, and the thing that kind of is a common thing that you'll see is that they're probably bored with their life. Same thing what might cause a person to go out and cheat on their significant other is because they're bored at home with their partner. Or a person, like I can relate, like there be times where I've gotten in trouble because I've done things out of boredom. Like I would maybe get paid, I would get paid and I would run to the casino. This would be, I would go to the casino and I would blow my whole check in the casino out of boredom, knowing that I had rent to pay, or I had a car note to pay, or I had to do something for my child, or whatever, I need to pay a bill or whatnot. And so I would go to the casino out of boredom because, it's Friday night and I'm bored. It's nothing to do, and so I will go and blow my check or whatnot. And I think that a person needs stimulation, because if you're bored, it's kind of like, what I would call that new toy impulse. It's like, another thing that would get, I'm relating to myself, but it's like, I may see a car that I want, and I'll say, I gotta have that car. And I'm all, because the way I look at that car, and many of you can relate, maybe you see a pair of shoes, maybe you see a shirt, or maybe you see, something that kind of attracts your attention, right? Maybe it's the opposite sex or whatnot. And, and you kind of dwell, because without stimulation, I think that your mind kind of wanders to it starts wandering, and when you start wandering, it starts wandering to a dark, like a dark place in your mind. Like you start having dark thoughts, you know. Um, I think that, yeah, you start having dark thoughts. So again, back to like, if I see a car, I know I can't afford the car, so I'll go out and purchase it anyway. Maybe I need to pay a bill, but I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go buy an outfit, and I'll put like, instant gratification. So, I gotta have it now, I gotta have it now, because I'm lacking stimulation, you know. Um, and it's just like something that, I need right now. And so it's like, and then what's crazy is that, maybe I get that car that I wanted. Maybe I get that car, and I'm driving it, and I'm all happy and exciting in the beginning, just like with the new toy. And then the excitement fades away, right? And then it's like, why did I even buy this vehicle to begin with? I can't afford the payments, and insurance is too high, gas is too much, and then maintenance is too costly. And it's like, and I've gotten myself into trouble like that. Maybe I go out and just out of boredom, and maybe do things that I shouldn't do. And, again, that causes boredom there. Sorry. So my mind just kind of wandered off. But yes, I think that without, stimulation, a person will start to wander. A person's mind starts to wander. This is why I think a lot of people who's wealthy may, because like I watch a lot of history videos, right? And I'm not a historian by far, but I watch a lot of history videos and whatnot, and I noticed that as a common thing with that is that all those people who were rich and wealthy and were in power or whatnot, they did a lot of disturbing things. They for their amusement, and it was because they were maybe bored, and so because you would think in the normal, like if you, because I think also when people who win the lottery, or who comes into a huge inheritance, because you go out and you say, okay, what are you going to do with all that money? And then they'll say, well, I'm going to pay all my bills, and I'm going to travel the world, I'm going to buy me a new wardrobe, and I'm going to buy fancy cars and houses. But when you get past all that, what else is there to do? And then, and you become bored because you do everything your heart desires, and then there's nothing left, and you continue living, but there's nothing that stimulates your mind, so you become bored. And then I think that a lot of times, this is when a person may kind of go on the dark side of things and start thinking, because they need that stimulation. I think without stimulation, we'll go kind of lose our humanity. You kind of lose your mind. I think that's when you lose your mind. In prison, they have this tactic called solitary confinement, where they'll take you away from other people. They'll take like comfort of prison. I mean, being in prison is not comfortable, but what little comfort you do have in prison, they'll take that from you, and they'll put you in like this room and leave you in there. And they used to do where they turn off the lights or whatever, but now it's just you're in this room, and you're in your underwear, and you got a sheet, and you're on a hard bed, and they kind of leave you, you're in there, and your mind, a lot of people go crazy. A lot of people go crazy because there's no stimulation, and then you get bored. It's like what they would say, you're bored out of your mind, you're bored out of your fucking mind, because there's nothing to do, so you go crazy. I think that's when people really go like mental or crazy or whatnot. I don't know if that's the correct term to say, and if it is, I'm sorry, but I think that without stimulation, again, boredom is really a bad thing, is what I'm trying to say here. I'm gonna make this a short video, but before I do, there's two movies I want to recommend that kind of sums up what I'm trying to say here. There's two movies. They're kind of like maybe C+, B- movies. Not nothing that's like spectacular. They're low budget movies, I guess, but they're really entertaining. One of them's called Surviving the Game. It has like Ice-T and some other people, and then the other one is Apex. Yeah, Apex. It has Bruce Willis in it and some other people, but pretty much both of these movies are the same. But in these movies, there's like these rich people, you know, and they're bored out of their life. They're bored, and so they're hunting. They go hunting people. They go hunt people, and you know, it's kind of the same story where the hunter he kills all the people who's hunting them. But the reason why I'm saying that is that, you know, it's just that, you know, if a person ever becomes wealthy, you know, and I think that's what happens because you want more and you want to stimulate more and stimulate your mind more and stimulate and stimulate and stimulate. And, you know, what one question that might comes to mind is what happens if you get too much stimulation? What happens, you know, if you're getting too much excitement or too much pleasure, or, you know, and you know, it's like, you know, I think that if you're getting too much stimulation, I think you know, it's like when you're doing a drug, you know, if you're doing too much of a drug, you become numb to it, or you see too much pain, you become numb to it. I think you become numb, and then it's like you know, you try to find, and this is why I think that, you know, again, like a person who might go out and become a serial killer because they become numb, you know, and it's like they're needing that constant stimulation. So why did I make this video? I don't know. It's just kind of something that was off the top of my head. I just, I guess this is my Tuesday night ramble. So I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to finish off the rest of this joint. Again, I hope that your day has been really, really kind, has been a wonderful day. I hope you're in a happy mind state. Yeah, I thank you for blessing me with your time, and I'm just going to go ahead and end this video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, take care.